that works out for us today. Hello, Sweet Sensations. Stacy, hi, hi. Hello, Skin Potions US. Thanks for joining, guys. So I have a filter on here. So if you see my eyelashes moving in any particular direction, that's probably why. So let's see here. Now we are going to be joined by D. Taliaferro. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for joining. Margarita, thank you so much for joining. It's good to see you, my dear. So our guest of honor is currently en route. Hello, Doc Blue Sea. Hello, hello, Doc. Good evening to you too. So our guest of honor is on his way, and he is D. Taliaferro. A lot of us know who he is because he has done some lives before. There he is. He's waving at us. He's gonna come on by voice. So let's see if I can pull him into the room. Hello, Cans 876. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Shaw Stands Tall. And we can hear Mr. Taliaferro. His name is Hakim Taliaferro. And we will, until he parks, he's driving, y'all. So, all right. Good, good. I could hear you a little bit. Can you guys hear him? Is the audio good? Hello, hello, Miss C Dub. Omay or Remy, hi for joining. I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm not sure if others can hear. Hey guys, put a thumbs up in the comments for me. Let me know if you can hear Hakim, please. Can you guys hear me? Hey JC, over on StreamYard, we've got JC Russell. He tuned in. Hi JC, we're talking tonight to the Taliaferro. Tired of the foolishness. I like your name. Welcome. Welcome, very glad to see you. Hello, Brett in Atlanta. And yes, they can. Hi, Cassandra. Hey, girl. Good to see you. So you have a question, Hakim. They're asking how you're doing. Oh my, I don't want to mess up the name, but it's Oh My Perfumes. Oh Maya Remy Perfumes. Okay. Awesome. So I am really excited, and hi Courtney, Perfume Madness joined us. I'm really excited to chat with you today because there's been, the holidays are right around the corner. Kennedy, thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you for joining. So the holidays are right around the corner. And as you know, people are going to, if they haven't started shopping yet, they will be very soon. So I wanted to chat with you so we can talk a little bit about what you have to offer. Because right now, I have some questions down here. Let me just ask the question. Hello, Patricia. Hi, Mickey the Great. I see you. Hi, Spicy. So today is the first time I'm literally trying this, guys. I am trying to stream as well as do the Instagram live. So we're trying to see if we can do multiple platforms at the same time because some people don't come on Instagram. They don't have an Instagram account. Some people do not have Facebook. Some people do not have, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to accommodate because I know that sometimes on YouTube people say, I missed your live. I wish I could have been there, etc. Hello, Teresa. So, guys, the first question I wanted to ask Hakim, well, actually, before we get into the questions, hey, Spicy, can you tell us what got you started in creating your own perfume? I know I've heard the story before, but there are people who are new to my channel who may have not.
Yeah, sure. So, first off, thanks again for having me, Miss Pam.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, always a good thing to connect with you and your friends and family.
Yes.
So, what got us started at the Telefal, like I tell people, we actually started out with a totally different name, totally different vision.
Okay.
So, what
Uh-huh.
all these different places, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna have my own plug-in, and that's what kind of like started this whole journey of me researching scents and how I could actually do such a thing. Now, the
Okay.
funny thing is, when I was younger, and I'm sure there are other people who can resonate with this. It was so funny because I would go into certain houses as a kid, and if the house smelled bad, I would ask mommy to take me home. I was like, "Can you leave? I don't want to stay here."
Oh
And
wow,
that's
you
just
had
at a young age.
sensitivity?
Yeah, I had sensitivity to
Oh,
smells at a
okay.
young age, and I didn't realize that it was part of my gifting. But that was something I started at a young age. So I was like older. I was like, let me see if there's something with this. So that's what got me started on a journey of creating fragrances. Our first fragrance was actually Bed, which has become everyone's desire.
Okay. And I have that one right here with me. I think that was my fourth fragrance that I purchased.
Okay.
Yeah. And I purchased it. I'll tell you, I was going back and forth on it. There's a young man, his name is oh Chai. His channel is Chai Sense 777.
Oh, yep, yep, that's my boy.
Yep, and he purchased the fragrances and he talked about BED, becomes everyone's desire, being his favorite. And this is what they look like, guys. The light is kind of drowning out on YouTube. I don't know why. My camera is really drowning out on YouTube. But this smells very clean. Like really, really clean.
Yeah.
Um like fresh, like not like laundry fresh almost.
Mm-hmm. And that was the intent.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was the intent, and that was one of our. That was like the only fragrance that we have for a while. Bed.
So how long did you have BED become everyone's desire before you decided to switch and well not switch but add to your collection?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, I had bed for like at least maybe 6 or 7 months, and then the next fragrance after bed was actually Room 129. Room 129 is that I originally was going to name it Bed for her, and the fragrance Bed was going to be Bed for him. So it
Oh,
was going to be
okay.
kind of like that. Yeah, that was the original story behind it.
Okay.
And but I actually ended up instead of that, having a dream and having a vision where those of you who know the story behind Room 129 is
Hmm.
inspired. The name for Room 129 was that dream.
Okay.
And I'll go into details if you want me to later about the dream and share the story of that and everything.
Okay. So the second fragrance you owned, well not owned, but created was Room 129. And so the
Yes,
notes on that one, that is very feminine. If
yes,
if I'm not, I think it's very feminine, and it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of your bestsellers.
yes, it is. Yep. Uh-huh. It's bad. Yeah,
So
Room 129. Yep,
yeah,
129.
yeah. Now the fragrances, when you crafting fragrances, I know that you had the inspiration. You mentioned about you trying to create something that was, speaking to you that you would want to wear. And I think most perfumers, I hear that story, it's quite consistent. So tell me, um, that's your inspiration. But I also know that besides crafting fragrances, that you have a passion of writing.
You're spot on. I love to write. I love to write poetry. I love to write journaling, like all of that. I actually have, well, I'll say this. My
Hmm.
father was actually an artist, and he was
Oh.
a professional artist. He actually did like courtroom portraits. So you
Hmm.
remember how back in the time when you would see like a court case, you would see the video and they had the portraits actually drawn out by the artist.
Hmm.
So my father actually did that, and he,
Oh.
yeah, he actually did that, and that inspired me to get into the arts as far as writing more.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're actually working on something. I'll give you guys the name of it, but we're working on a coffee table book called Well Composed Thoughts from a
Wow.
Well Composed Gentleman.
That actually sounds very it's interesting. Something I actually want to read.
Yeah, these are what we call, these are short compositions,
Mm-hmm.
basically of like stories and experiences that I've had as a man, and just from the journey of being a single man to being a married man to being a father, just journey entrepreneur. It's like short thoughts,
Okay.
and yeah, so because like I shared before, like one of my biggest journeys and experiences has been identity, and I feel like there's a lot of people who struggle with their identity and what they attach themselves to.
Well,
So
yeah,
this
that's true.
book, this little coffee table book, is like a peek into that journey of mine.
Okay. So this is what's next for the Taliaferro? And
This
you
will
know
be.
what? I just realized I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. It's the Taliaferro, right?
You can say it however you want to say it. So some people say Taliaferro, some people say Telefarrow. I I was trained to say Telefarrow, so
I
however
like
you
to
want
call
to
people
say
by
it.
their namesake. So your name is the Taliaferro, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's what I am going to break that habit because that's a 2 year habit I've had saying the Taliaferro. So my next question for you, you talked about the coffee book, which is what's next. So the next thing I wanted to ask is how do you determine fragrance collections? Because not only how many of your collections do you have right now, like separate collections, and how many fragrances do you currently have with your expansive, the repertoire that you've got?
So we currently have like around 11 fragrances that are currently for sale.
Okay.
And as far as collections, we have we have the original collection, we have the limited collection, we have the Black Excellence collection, we have
Hmm.
around 6 collections
Oh,
for sale.
wow.
And as far as to answer your question regarding the inspiration for these collections, the reason I named it that is because it's literally those 3 scents are literally the first 3 scents that we created under our company.
Okay. So you have the limited pieces, you mean? Because I know that you also do fragrances where you create specifically for individuals.
Yes, so we do offer custom services as well.
Okay.
And as far as the Black Excellence collection, the inspiration for that was actually me being one of the pallbearers for the late great Cicely Tyson.
Okay.
So Cicely Tyson, as you know, she was a very well-known black actress who
Right.
was very active during a period of I believe, the 30s to even to like the 2000s,
Correct.
and she was very well known for taking roles that gave dignity to the black woman.
I remember as a kid growing up, Cicely Tyson was one of the individuals that I would it was her, it was Diane Carroll, the young lady that played Julia.
Uh-huh.
Um gosh, there's one more, but there were like four specific black actresses that their you didn't see other people like that. And I got familiar with Cicely Tyson as an actress because I was in Trinidad at the time, and I got familiar with her when I saw her in Roots. Um, and that was very a poignant stage because when you're growing up in the Caribbean, you don't really. And if you guys don't know, the Taliaferro, Hakim is also Trinidadian, so we have a lot in common. But watching Roots and watching
Uh-huh.
Cicely Tyson, I remember my grandmother talking about the movie and stuff like. It's just like these are people that like literally stuck with us, you know,
Yes.
throughout our entire time. They make an impact. You see actresses and actors who you see them in a movie, they look really good, they do what they do, but there's not a specific impact. But she made an impact in acting,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. She, that experience of being gifted with the opportunity to carry her definitely left an impression on my memory. And
Yes.
it will be a story to tell also to my son as far as the importance of capturing those moments on in writing
In writing.
on
Yeah.
paper
Yeah.
to document somehow, because these are the stories that he'll tell to
Mm-hmm.
his kids as
Right.
well. So I encourage everyone, find some way to document the experiences that are significant to you. You know, you want to memorialize them because these are the stories that your family tells about you and your kids and so forth. Like, it may seem insignificant,
Mm-hmm.
but like for me, one of the reasons why fragrances are so important, why I encourage everyone to do a custom fragrance, preferably if it's with me. I like to take care of you, but if it's not, it's okay. But I encourage everyone to do a custom fragrance because that custom fragrance becomes a conversation piece for generations to come.
That's true. That is very true. Now, speaking a little bit of Cicely's fragrance, tell us about. I know that you're inspired by her and her body of work, and of course, you were a pallbearer for her funeral. And this was just like, it wasn't something that you reached out to the family and did or anything like that. This was just something that you embodied based on the experience you've had and what you thought of her, right? But the
Correct.
scent notes on this fragrance. So all of I must mention that the majority of his bottles look the same. Okay, it has his signature at the front, right? And then the name of the fragrance is at the bottom. And so this one has Black Excellence, BE, and then it has Sicily at the bottom so that you'll know. That's something I talk to Hakim about. I tell him all the time, I'm so tired of trying to figure out what fragrance I got.
I know. We're working
Hi,
on it.
Shasta. I want to say hi to some people that popped in on YouTube. We've got Shasta. Hi, Shasta. See Alicia Indecence. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you for joining. If you guys can, you can come over on Instagram and join us as well. But I'm glad to have you over here. I'm trying for the first time. I'm trying to stream both sides, and Hakeem is still on the road. That's why he could not jump onto the screen. So we're doing this with by voice, and his baby is being gracious
Yeah,
enough to be quiet in the car.
yeah, my little baby. You hear little Israel? Yeah, he's. I guess he's saying hello to everybody.
So Sicily,
Hmm.
when I bought Sicily, I felt like it was more of a floral fragrance that I would wear during the spring. And then the maceration process. Now, when I bought it, it was sort of clear, a lot clearer than this yellow. And the maceration of this fragrance, it has developed and literally changed, like literally changed the way it is, for lack of a better word. It's literally changed the way I first thought of it, because initially I wasn't feeling it so much. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And now I've had it now going on a year. Hakeem, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. Can you give us a little bit about the notes?
Jesus.
Can you hear? I have a send time limit that may cut me off. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. So, hi, Chi Chi Self Care. Thank you for joining. So, I can actually pull up the notes because I have the site up here. For me, the Taliaferro, guys, I gotta fix myself with that, because I have been speaking, been calling it the Taliaferro, and then he actually did a live with Yellow Sands and Claudia Nairi, and he pronounced the fragrance, and I was, holy crap, I have been calling this man's fragrance incorrectly. So let's see if he is back in. Hello, Style and Substance. Thanks for joining. So there are 11 fragrances for sale currently when you go onto his site, and all of them are up there, and the original fragrances are there. Then he has the Black Excellence collection, where he has, like, that's where Sicily comes under. But Sicily is, it says it on here already, that is dedicated to her. But the notes in Sicily are jasmine, citrus, sweet fruits, moss, musk, sea spray, and mandarin. And moss is a note that is very, I want to say it's a complex note to work with. When I think of moss, I think of the green, soft, really cushy grass, moss on trees, out being outdoors, not funky smelling, but a little bit more earthy. And recently, I'm noticing that I'm gearing towards a lot more different scents than I used to. So that's what's in that one. If you have Sicily, if you tried it, let me know. I would love to hear from you. Let's see. You really want Sicily, Courtney? It's nice. It really is nice. And I am, let's see here. I think I'm almost, did I use a lot of it? I just put it down just now. I put a good dent in it. Look at that. Let's see if I turn it, you could see it a little bit. Yeah. So I put a good dent in it. The light that I have over here is really, there we go, drowning it out. I have to get my nails done, so don't come for me, y'all. Okay, so Sicily is more of a floral fragrance. It's not like Room 129, Cloud 9. Those are also favorites for pretty much everyone who's purchased them. One smells like Kool-Aid, the other one smells like biscuits to me, and I bathe in the one that smells like biscuits. So, and I can show you. Hold on one second. I'll put my iPad down until he gets back here because that's where I have all my questions. But if you look here, guys, look at that. I have put a dent in these fragrances. And I find that BED becomes everyone's desire. Look at the dent, guys. Let me pull it back a little bit. There you go. So I have put a serious dent in this. So BED, Room 129, and Cloud 9. It is beautiful. Yes, yes. Stacy says it is beautiful. It is. Hi, Haralden. So I put a dent in it and I had to slow my roll. Now, the thing about these fragrances is that it's not, super expensive. They're not super expensive, guys. They're like, I think $40 or $50, $50 or $60, something to that effect. Let me pull it up. I have the shop open right now. So $50. And a lot of times Hakim runs sales. So when you are running Cloud 9 is amazing. Courtney, you have that? Yes, yes. I'm telling you guys, they're really simply, in my opinion, they're really easy fragrances to like. They're not so complex that you have to be concerned. They're great gifts. And most of them, in my opinion, some are specifically for the women, but I know that BED, a lot of men like that and talk about it because it's a nice, clean laundry room type of vibe. Hi, Kay. Let's see. Room 129, Cloud 9, making notes of yourself. Yes. And here he is. So I'm gonna bring Hakim back into the room. Hakim, just go ahead and request it, and I will pull you right back in. So those are the three. Like I have like a top. I have, you know how people talk about margaritas being like the top shelf margarita, the top shelf gin, the top shelf, when it comes to alcohol. I have top shelf perfumes. And for indie houses, the Taliaferro is one of my top shelf houses because number one, it's affordable because not everybody could drop $200, $200 to $100 on a bottle of fragrance. Sometimes, that's just not affordable, right? Trying to get in. Okay, there we go. You gotta send me a request, Hakim. Let's see if I can. There you go. I can pull you and I can invite you and see if we can do that. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process. This is a niche brand. The fragrances, most of them, they last for. Ah, there you are. There you are.
Thank you guys for your patience.
Technical.
Missed you guys.
We missed you too. I was just sharing my top three, and well, they're not really. I have top four, but I was telling them about your price points, and we talked about that before about luxury. Remember, we had that conversation, and I think you had even posted on Instagram asking people what is your thought process on what luxury is.
Correct.
Yeah. So can you share a little bit about that? Because you have niche fragrances that cost a lot of money and are not as luxurious. And then you have your fragrances, which for me, the presentation, and I know others, the only problem I have with Hakim's bottles are the caps, because I tend to grab fragrances like this. And so, but guys, look at that. They're very pretty. They're not heavy, but they're substantial. So when you put them down, like this is a glass table, you put them down, you're not gonna have to worry about it cracking. Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your concept in terms of luxury and, in my opinion, affordable luxury?
Yeah, so I'll even share the whole story behind what caused me to change the name from what the company name was before to what it is now.
Okay.
So those of you who don't know, the name of our company prior to the Telephone was Luxurious Life Sense.
Okay.
So the whole concept was to focus on creating products and pitching them to like celebrities and wealthy individuals. It was a very materialistic focus starting out because
Okay.
that's all that I knew. However, I
Okay.
was blessed to have this conversation with a gentleman, and we had kind of like a think tank session, and he caused me to like go dive deeper as far as what I perceive luxury to be.
Okay.
And we came down to this visualization of me being at the beach, relaxing, and the sun just shining, it just being such a warm, beautiful day.
Nice.
And that was the final image I had of what luxury was for me. So I realized at that time, that moment, I realized that luxury is subjective. It's totally subjective. It's not a Ferrari, or it's not. It can be whatever you want it to be based on your own perspective and your experiences. Like I recently did an event, right? We call it Telefoul and Friends. I
Mm-hmm.
just really, this is the first time I did it actually. It's a private event where we allow people to actually create a perfume together, right, in a small group setting.
Okay.
So I had asked that question to everyone in the room, and they all had different meanings for what they thought luxury was, just like you said. So it's just so funny to see that. You know, a lot of people, depending on their experiences and the ads that they've seen, they tend to attach luxury to possessions or materials. But in
Correct.
reality, you know, luxury, the definition in itself, it means something that is unattainable to the masses, simply.
That's very true. And it's not just that. Luxury is also could be the experience, you know.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be like people say you have there's a term that people use. You have the luxury to do this. You have the luxury to do that. You know, I grew up hearing that term. And that for me specifically just means you have the ability to do something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have the ability to do something, whether that is to get up and walk by yourself, or whether that is the ability to spend a certain amount of money instead of you buying I don't know about y'all, but I've had government cheese before. So hi Cheryl, thanks for joining. So whether you had the ability to go to the store and buy like deli meats, like real deli meats, you know, and not processed meat and things like. So luxury, you have the luxury to do or to be, and I like
Yes.
that, you know. So I know this was a question. Cheryl said, "Hey,"
Hey, Cheryl,
on YouTube.
for those of you who I didn't get to say hi to, thank you all. And I'm so happy to be here with my good friend Pam. Pam is such a real one,
Oh,
such a
thank
real
you.
one. Yeah, and a lot of you I've conversed with as well. And definitely, one thing I am thankful for is our community. And I
Yes.
don't get to say this enough. Like I know there's a lot of perfume brands out there. There's a lot of companies that say, "Oh, we love our community. Oh, we love." I really love our community, and I love the individuals themselves. Like there's certain commonalities, if that's even a word, that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just from the people that are within a fragrance community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I won't go into a lot of those details, but me personally, I'm just really thankful for you guys being here and the conversations that we're having.
I'm
You
thankful for
know,
my tribe. I like the community.
yeah,
Hi, Steph. I am comfortable in actually saying that, you know, you could have a million subscribers, a million
yes,
followers, but if you are not communicating with those people or not responding, sometimes they can get offended, not recognizing that if they were to respond to 500,000 of the comments or 5,000 comments, they won't have time to eat. They won't have time to put their makeup on. They won't have time to take care of their family. They won't have time to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And so I think sometimes that gets lost in the sauce a little bit. I was watching Jackie Aina on TikTok, and I think I can mention her name without getting copyright stricken or anything like that. But I remember there was she posted on TikTok where somebody made a really horrible comment about her marital status and how long it took for her to walk down the aisle, blah, blah, blah. And she read them for filth. And the way she read them was quite respectful, where she made the differentiation. She said that you don't know me. You know, you follow me, but you don't know me. And I think within our community, because we are, the fragrance community is something people did not know about until I would say COVID, to be quite honest with you. COVID is when we became more of a known thing, you know, where people didn't feel so ashamed to have more than 5 bottles of fragrances in their collection, where people had the same passion, kind of like I like shoes and handbags. And I could talk about that stuff for days and days. And so I think that hello, John, and hi, Amanda.
Hey, what's up, Amanda? What's up, John?
So I think that, you know, the fragrance community, although it has been around for some time, it's just gotten vastly larger because of, you know, COVID, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think our community, as you're saying, you know, it's just freaking wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But I don't want to take too long. To everybody in here, thanks for joining. If I haven't said thank you, Joe, I see Joe joined. Thanks for joining us. Cheryl West Boyd joined us over here on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Red W12 joined us. Steffi Mayo joined us. And Steph T Mayo. I keep calling her Steffi. Priscilla's here. Nat's here. So thanks, guys, for all of you for joining. I am Dr. Love Jones. Ooh, I like your name. I like that name. So we talked a little bit about earlier, we mentioned you had 11 fragrances, and I have one. The other one is downstairs because I selected it for my weekly roundup. And that is, you know, one of my favorites from this line, which is your Juneteenth series.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh man, so that was such a labor of love. This collection was inspired by Juneteenth being officially labeled a government holiday.
Yes.
It was officially labeled a government holiday. So I'm like, hold up. Like, this can't just go down, you know, this has to be memorialized. Like,
right.
Memorialized. So I decided with the company that every year we create a new fragrance to commemorate Juneteenth. And I try to create a different element with every scent.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, the fragrance was independence.
Right.
This year, the fragrance is reparations.
Yes. Now, I love that name.
Yes. You know, like, how do you feel when you spray it? Like, tell me, how do you feel every time you spray it? Because it's like, how I feel.
I love the name reparations because oddly enough, you know, every month we're celebrating different things. You know what I'm saying? Like we have breast cancer awareness, we have childhood cancer awareness, you know, all of these things are going on in the same month, right? What I liked about the name when I saw it, even my mom, because I opened it when I was in Miami, and even my mom, I did a little skit and I posted it on YouTube. My mom, my brother smelled it before I did. I did. I let them, and they're very, very picky, very picky. And they really liked it. So I just made the video about them and they really liked it. But when I said what the name was, and mom asked what the name was, I said, Mommy, it's called reparations. And she was like, oh, that sounds good. Because in Trinidad, we had independence, then we became a republic and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like the mindset. It wasn't about Juneteenth. It was about, you know, in the Caribbean, you know, there's a lot of indentured laborers, blah, blah, blah. So her mindset went somewhere completely off, you know. But it's just interesting. And I really love the name. And I think one person mentioned that they really loved the name as well when I put the title of it. But I know it's when you think of reparations, what were you thinking when you're creating the essence of it, meaning the your scent profile?
Sweet Justice, baby. I was thinking Sweet Justice. I was like, you know what? Like, how I want this fragrance to have a sweetness to it, but also have kind of like this clean, like refreshing, like open filled feel to it.
Oh, wow.
To incorporate into reparations because that's what it made me think of, like Sweet Justice.
Okay.
And that's why when you even see it, it's one of the first fragrances that has a color tone to it.
Yes. It's pink, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
I really like it. I really like it.
That's, you know, and it's funny because that's actually one of my current favorites. Favorites is the Revelations.
Okay.
So, it is. I guess for me, it's because it's a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is because like I am expecting them. that's one reason.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason, I genuinely love the fragrance. I really love it.
I do too. I really do. It's one, and it's literally, which one is the one that smells like Kool-Aid? That's Cloud 9, right? Okay, so Cloud 9 used to be number 3. And so now Sicily is number 3. Room 129 is number 1. And Reparations is number 2. And the Cloud 9 is now number 4. Now, the other fragrances I have here, I have the Scented Social, which I want to talk about because I know that's around this time of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
We talked about Sicily, which is in honor of Cicely Tyson, and we talk about BED, which BED stands for Become Everyone's Desire, and that was his first fragrance created. All right, so let's chat a little bit about the Scented Social, and you can tell the people what it's about, because I have a lot of folks who actually are from up north, like where you're at, Jersey, New York, and stuff. So they may be able to come to your events.
Yeah, so the Scented Social, man, it's a wonderful event. We do it once a year, and the whole experience is centered around capturing all 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, feel. So when you come, actually I said the same, feel and touch the same thing. But we wanted people to be totally activated when they came inside of our event. So the centerpiece, of course, because we're the Taliaferro, is fragrance. So this is an event where you get to experience all of our products hands-on.
Okay.
And at the end of the event, we have a signature part where everyone that is there has the opportunity to name the mystery scent of the night. The mystery scent of the night is something that I crafted beforehand. It's never been smelled before. It's never been released.
Okay.
And what happens is at the event, whoever we choose, like it's like a whole process. I don't even want to like take away the fun from those who want to attend.
Okay.
But whoever names it and we choose it, that becomes the name of the fragrance. So at the last event, it was named Seasons because that's the name everyone chose.
Right.
So it was like a whole group, almost like a board committee.
Oh, so you come to the party. Party in the club. You know, I can't tell you the last time I went to a party, like a real party. So you come to the party, and then when you come to the party, you guys kind of smell fragrances, smell scents, and things of that nature. Yeah. Some people do create their own as well, right?
So there's an element of that we may have at this next one, but it's not something we've traditionally done.
Okay. Okay.
And the Scented Social is more like, think of an art gallery with some nice music playing.
Oh, okay.
It's like that type of vibe. It's more of an art. It's not like a party. More so like when you dance. It's more like you come there, you dress nice, you socialize, and we are not just trying to have people at a party just looking good.
Right.
It's a social, right? So you gotta socialize. So we encourage that, and the way that we do our event is where we encourage everyone to connect, and we have some systems in place and some things that we do to kind of encourage people to connect with each other. Because we're thinking like, you're here, the fragrance is the centerpiece, but I want you guys to move on together. Like I want everyone to build here and say, whatever your business or your job, whatever, connect and build.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. That sounds really good. We do have a question. I see here, Jessica asked, where are you located?
So we are located in East Orange, New Jersey, which is actually one of the places that Cicely Tyson was a period of time for her childhood. So
Okay.
East Orange, New Jersey. Whitney Houston also, I believe, has some history here as well.
There's a lot of artistic individuals that come, kind of like Austin is very art, lots of artsy folks here. Even when I was Melissa Etheridge was from Leavenworth, which is a really small town, but there's a lot of artists, big name artists that actually come from that area. Jersey, New York, even I think also, and I mentioned this yesterday. I was having a conversation with a young lady yesterday, and she mentioned that we were talking about how DC, Virginia, lots of arts and creativity and stuff, and a lot of the like HBCU type vibe, because Texas has a couple of HBCUs, but the real it's around that belt, going around there, Florida, East Coast for the most part.
Man, I have a heart for DC too. I actually have some family in Maryland, Virginia, DC, the DMV. That's what they call it. I have some family and friends down there, so that's a place that's pretty close to my heart as well. And I'm actually doing an event out there in that area. So anyone who wants to partner up with me in that area, reach out to me, direct message me or whatever, because I am looking to do some really cool things. Just a little snippet.
Okay.
We want, our intention is, and I say our intention, we want to start touring the United States.
Okay.
So we plan to do some really cool things next year, like some
pop-up shops.
Pop-up shops all over the country.
Nice.
And we're going to be really wanting to have these conversations with you guys because I want to include you guys. That's why I'm telling you now. So we want to like really bring these communities closer together.
Okay. So I see Angel. Thank you, Angel. She said I look pretty. Thank you. So we have another question from Rose Gold Poppy, who is also a perfumer. His fragrances are rose gold fragrances. Now, his question is, are you the sole perfumer or do you have a team?
That's a good question. So my wife and I are a team, actually. So
okay.
I actually have trained her, and I guess I could say it now. Should I say it?
Yeah. As long as it's not going to get you in trouble.
Lady Taliaferro collection is coming on.
Oh.
Yeah, and these are all fragrances that she crafted.
Okay.
And I gave her total, like she has, some training and everything. I gave her full creative inspiration behind it. Full creative direction. This is something that she crafted. So we have an exclusive Lady Taliaferro collection coming out.
Lady Taliaferro, I cannot wait. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 fragrances that I love. I've been going back and forth on the myrrh and stuff like that, but I'm gonna wait for that because I want to see what she brings to the table because I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I mean, geez, that is pretty phenomenal. Speaking about creative direction, now I do know that you've trained other perfumers. I mentioned I have spoken to some other individuals that's worked under you, apprenticed. And so one of the things that within the industry, I made a video a while ago, a TikTok video saying that not everybody who throws things together is considered a perfumer, but not everyone that goes to France, to Grasse, France, they don't always create stuff that we like. So one of the things I think with perfumes is that it has to speak. You can create perfumes for yourself, but if you are planning on selling to the masses, and I don't think Dior is listening to me or anybody like that, but I'm just saying, if you're planning on selling to the masses, you have to have an understanding of what is needed. And I think I'm really excited about the Lady Taliaferro collection because if you look at perfumers, if you look at the history of perfume and the people behind perfumes and the names behind perfumes and stuff, you may see a lot of ladies' names now, but the percentage is significantly lower than male perfumers, which leads me to, and I'm getting a little, I might rub some feathers here, but my thought process is that with perfume, a man can't always tell her what a woman wants. A woman has to tell a man what she wants in the grand scheme of things, what I like to smell, what I like to wear, et cetera, et cetera. But it hasn't, things have changed within the century. The tides have turned. And so I'm
Yeah.
excited to see females grabbing the reins and taking charge and putting things out there that they know that we want, that we crave, and I'm really excited about that. So when do you
Yeah.
anticipate the release of Lady Taliaferro?
So we anticipate this for the first week of December. So right
Wow,
in
that's
time for
quick.
Christmas. Yeah, right in
Wow,
time for Christmas. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
I'm
The funny thing is,
excited.
as you can see, we kind of like do the Kanye thing where we like to just drop it on you, like we just drop it, like new
Yeah,
album.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
we do a surprise, sometimes we let you know in advance. But yeah, so you guys are getting this before anybody else has it. Nobody
Wow.
else is
So,
dropping it
guys,
before
this is
them.
breaking news on Let's Talk
Yeah,
Fragrance with the Taliaferro tonight. There is a subsidiary line called Lady Taliaferro that's going to be dropped the first week of December. So I don't care if you got to put 50 cents together every day. You had to skip Starbucks. You got to skip, what else do we eat like real easy? Your Chick-fil-A's. I love Chick-fil-A though. You
uh-huh.
gotta skip. You gotta skip it, y'all. Skip a couple of meals, skip a couple of lattes, make your own latte at home so that we can support Lady Taliaferro when she drops her line under the Taliaferro's fragrance brand come the first week of December. Y'all heard it here first. Okay? We gotta do that. We gotta support. We'll be keeping our eyes out. I'm excited. I'm excited. Any hints on what we kind of, is it like vanilla? Is it gourmand? Is it fresh? Is it floral? Is it any hints? Are you going to drop any more hints?
I'll give you two words that are a hint, and I'll just say this: Proverbs 31. That's it.
Oh,
That's all I'm
snap.
gonna
Now I
give
got to
you.
go read my Bible tonight.
That's all I'm gonna give you. Yeah.
I am so excited for her. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your brand. I'm very passionate about the Telefera. I'm very passionate about the fragrances. Now, I mentioned it earlier, and I'm kind of going off. I didn't give you this question, okay? So, feel free to say no. I'm not ready to answer that yet because when we talk about the creativity of fragrances and what goes into a fragrance to determine the pricing comes upon the product, the presentation, how much it costs for a bottle, the how much it costs for the ingredients in itself, where you're sourcing your ingredients from. Of course, if you have somebody else behind a name, a big name, and all that type of stuff plays into the creation of a fragrance. You don't just come out and say, I'm going to charge you 180 or $360 for it. There's a lot that goes into it. So, um, we talked about this earlier, affordable luxury, because that is what, in my opinion, your fragrance are. They're a niche fragrance that is affordable, but it's wearable, one, and it doesn't all smell like it's just different, right? Can you tell us about your ingredients and your process? Just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want anybody biting off of you. You heard that meme before. I don't want to say too much because I don't want anybody biting, So can you
Yeah.
give us a little bit of feedback on that?
So, as far as the quality of the ingredients, um, I would say we definitely focus on having a high grade quality oil. So a lot of
Okay.
people like, so for example, right? So one of the questions I've gotten since I've started perfumery is, um, what is it? Do you use oils? I want to answer that question right now because a lot
Okay.
of people don't. Some people may know this. Some people don't know this.
Okay.
All perfumes have oil
Okay.
because what makes it sprayable and I'm going to like the different grades of perfume because like each toilet, each perfume, and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. But every perfume has oil in it. What makes it sprayable is adding alcohol or IPM, which is isopropyl
Right.
peroxide,
Okay.
which is a whole the chemistry. I won't go into that too far. try to keep it understandable. But every fragrance, that's what allows it to be sprayable. So we tend to use like high grade quality fragrances and
Okay.
the ingredients. So we focus a lot on the texture, the clarity, the viscosity, which is kind of like how it moves and bottled liquid wise. So there's some elements that we focus on with that.
Okay.
And as far as pricing, that's exactly what you said, Pam. Like we wanted to make everyone that encountered our products feel luxurious, to feel like they were wealthy. And I'll share this with you too. One of our inspirational brands starting out was Clive Christian. Now, those of
Okay.
you who don't know who Clive Christian is, um, we're on a path. We definitely love their brand and what they're doing, but we do intend to break into that market space as well, as far as
Okay.
their type of client and everything. But the
Mhm.
the focus with our products and the brand, the message has always been, like you said, make people feel like luxury. We're not trying to sell. I don't want to sell you anything.
Mhm.
I want to sell you to you. Like every time you wear our fragrance, I want you to think about like I'm luxury. Like I don't need to buy this. I don't need to go there. Like these places are blessed to have my presence.
Correct.
So when you spray our perfume, it's a reminder that you are the luxury.
Yes.
So that's like you said, as far as the pricing, the packaging, we try to focus on that personalized feel.
Right.
You know,
I appreciate that. I really do, because a lot of times when people could feel, and you can't help but feel like you're not enough, because it's always the next greatest thing. You hear people talk about that all the time. One of the people that I find quite influential is Denzel Washington, and well, two people, Gary Sinise and Denzel Washington, because I'm in the service. If you don't know, if this is your first time here and you just see me, hi, I'm in the military, and I've been in the military over 30 years. And one of the things that I appreciate is individuals that have the means to give back, and they do. And they're not just doing it for the camera flicks. You know what I mean? And a lot of time, Denzel and Gary Sinise have been giving back, giving back, giving back for decades. And I really appreciate what I hear when I hear them, like visit, like if they visit the burn unit, or they visit soldiers at Walter Reed, or they come to William Beaumont or whatever hospital. One of the things that I like hearing, even the patients, say
yes,
things like, man, they made me feel, they
yes,
cared about me, they made me feel.
yes,
um and even more so because we were at war for almost 20 years, you know what I mean?
wow,
So
yes,
that
yes,
this is the first time America has ever seen anything like that, that kind of stuff. So the things mean different things to
wow,
different people. So for me, when I smell a fragrance or I buy something, I don't want to be made to feel like less than. You know what I mean? And sometimes people, that's something that we don't really talk about, uh,
yeah,
where items are priced at such a point that individuals cannot get to that point, and that actually makes them feel a certain kind of way. You know what I mean?
correct,
So yeah. So I have a question
yes.
here on
And I
YouTube.
appreciate the service too.
Oh, you're welcome.
The
You're
service,
welcome. I
like,
am truly honored to
yeah,
serve. I'm truly honored to
yeah,
serve.
we appreciate you.
I have a question from Cheryl. Now, Cheryl is also a Trinidadian. Cheryl West Boyd. We
Trinidad,
yeah, we straight shooters. Boo, boo, boo. Cheryl, Cheryl asks if your bottles come in 10 mil sizes.
so we don't have that currently,
Okay.
um, but we are looking into having different sizes in the very near future.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. Because I find that with us, well, for me, I have quite a bit of fragrances, and I really love my fragrances, and I love looking at them. I like walking into the room and seeing how pretty they look. But what I love most about my fragrances is that I use them.
Yeah, yes, that's always a plus.
So that being said, I want to use my stuff. So I like smaller sizes. Now, if it's just a $10, $15 difference, 20, maybe even $30 difference from a 1.7 to a 3.4, I will purchase the 3.4 and then I will try to share or decant and stuff like that. Speaking of that, you do have samples, correct? On
Yes,
your
we do have
site?
the samples. And did she mean to say? I just thought about this. Did she mean to write 10 ml or 100 ml?
No, 10 ml. She says, do they come in
Okay.
10 ml samples? Because for us, for,
Okay.
like Cheryl and I, we call ourselves, we are habitual oversprayers. So a 2 ml size for somebody that's an oversprayer that wants to see how a
Yeah.
fragrance is going to work for them doesn't really work
Yes.
because they can't really wear it for more than 5 days. Well, not even 3 days if you want to spray all over, like how you would normally wear the fragrance. One spritz
Exactly.
here, one spritz there, and you're wearing it for a couple of days. That's not a good fragrance. Um, decide that was You can't be decisive on that. So
Yeah.
normally when I go to Neiman Marcus, I get like 4 and 5 of the same fragrance. So that's the question she's asking. If you have 10 mil sizes,
Not
10
currently,
ml.
but it's something we can. Yeah, we're looking into having some different sizes.
Okay. So that is you heard it. He is looking. Cheryl says spray the darn thing. Now I sprayed this. I don't know if you guys saw when I sprayed this fragrance. Look at my hand on Instagram. You can see. Look at that. These are eau de parfums. Are they eau de parfums or parfums?
All yep, yep, either perfume. Yep.
Okay. So now think about look at the oil on my skin right now. And I know that with heavier oils and stuff, it sticks closer to the skin. But in my mindset, I showed them earlier. I didn't show you the dents I made. Look at that. Look at that. I am a beast with these two. But I mix them in lotions too. I like to play around with different like flavors
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's kind of like ice cream. I like to just play and see what I get. But one of the things I really enjoy is this right here. I sprayed one spray on my wrist and it was of Sicily. She is really pretty. She has like a slightly soapy undertone. I read the notes up earlier and I got mostly florals. But Hakeem, I smell a little bit now. I'm getting a little bit of soapiness,
Mhm.
just a little bit of like a cleanness, like
Yeah.
what I would anticipate a woman of a certain stature. And I wouldn't just say woman because even though it's feminine leaning, I think with the hormones of a man,
Mhm.
it will change.
Yes. Hmm.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Extrait quality. Yes, Kay, it truly is. Extrait de parfum quality. And I pinned it up here. She said, there's a street near me called Taliaferro. I always think of your brand. How
Oh, okay.
cool. That is cool.
I wonder what that is. Is that in
Where
Georgia?
is that? No, no. Kay, where is that located? What city? That's the clackroach. I pinned a comment. Orange blossom in Sicily. Let me see. Is there orange blossom in Sicily?
Yes.
Okay. His and her sends join. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I do have to ask this question from the last live you did with my friend Farida. She's in North Carolina. So she's yeah,
North Carolina.
yeah.
Okay.
hmm Now you know who else is in North Carolina? La Perfumerie. She has her own perfume shop in the mall.
Okay.
You guys should connect because she does a lot of niche stuff in there. Yeah, she is
Absolutely.
in Raleigh. And
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, Clackroach is in Greensboro. So, okay, so this question I'm going to ask if you were to create a fragrance, because this was asked of you the last time, and I'm like, they jacked my question. If you were to create a fragrance for someone or some ones, more than one maybe, that inspired you, and I'm going to put a twist on it because I like to give people their flowers while they're here, living, who would it be?
Anita Baker.
No way, for real?
And
Why?
I'm gonna tell you the reason why. It's a really heartfelt reason. So for me, there has to be like some type of personal connection, right? Like that, like well, actually not like super personal. Where I physically met the person, but I'll share the reason why. When I was younger, my mom, before she passed away when I was like 8 years old,
Okay.
and she used to always play Anita Baker. And I remember my mom had that hairstyle that Anita Baker had on the cover.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we
Somebody
go.
called me. So
Okay.
my mom had that same hairstyle that Anita Baker had on the cover of, I believe it was Anita Baker's Best Hits or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when she passed away, later on, I get into my like 19s and 20s, and I'm playing her music, and it's reminding me of my mom. Anita Baker. So
Oh.
whenever I would go through like tough situations, I would play some Anita Baker. I'm not gonna sing, but sweet love, like, I'm not even gonna embarrass myself. But I would play that, or I'll play Angel, and
That's a beautiful
I would
song
just be
too.
taken. Yeah, I would just be taken to a different place. So I would love to dedicate a fragrance to Anita Baker.
That's
Um,
pretty awesome.
yeah, and that's most of the reason why it's like that. Like, just she helped her music, her talent, her gifts, her pouring out helped pull me through some tough times. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
so frustrated because there was an opportunity I had to attend her concert a few years back, and
Oh,
for whatever
wow.
reason I was able to attend it. And for those of you who know, she actually doesn't have concerts that much.
No, she does
So
not.
yeah, so if any of you guys ever want to make me a super happy man, you can give me some tickets to an Anita Baker concert. That would like make my life. I would love to just see her perform live.
I think that would be actually really fabulous. One of the things that I really appreciate about performers, I guess from my generation, um, is that you have like Patti LaBelle still performs. You have, and I like rock and roll. So one of my favorite rock and roll artists is Blondie, that group. And I do like the Rolling Stones, but I like Pat Benatar. I like the 80s, 70s and 80s and stuff. So for me, when I think of Anita Baker, it reminds me of, up in the being up in the US and stuff like that. So um that someone mentioned that the name of that fragrance would be great if you named it Sweet Love. And
Oh,
that is
wow.
pretty
I
doggone
love
awesome.
that.
I think, let me see if I can pin his comments. It's his and her scent. He or she
Love it.
said, Sweet
Wow.
Love would be a great name for the fragrance. I actually really like that. Now,
I love that.
yeah, I do too. With regards to the signage, um, with regards to the signage, Courtney, she's over here on YouTube. She said to Clack Roach, jack the sign. Oh gosh. Oh god, that's too funny. I had another question here. I've got a lot of questions coming in on YouTube, which I'm loving. I haven't been live on YouTube very much. So the next question was about your website. I just posted the link to the Taliaferro's website on YouTube in the comments. But all you have to do is Google the Taliaferro. Well, it's spelled Talia, but it's pronounced Tala. So it's Taliaferro, and you can go on there, and it's very easy to navigate. It's one of the easiest sites to navigate. And for those of you, if I have anyone in here that reviews fragrances, if you've smelled Hakim's stuff, please review it, and let's try and get Hakim and the Taliaferro on Fragrantica. I have been trying to figure out how to do that. I know Fumi's fragrance is on there because I was looking for it and I saw it. So I think for us to get some of the smaller brands on there, specifically the Taliaferro, would be fantastic. So let's do some reviewing and get that stuff up there.
I'll
Um,
be honored to. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, that's the only way folks are going to know about the stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone who needs to learn about a fragrance, when they plug a name of a fragrance in, what they do is they plug it into Google, and next thing you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's people are talking about it. And we've been talking about the Taliaferro now for 2 years, I want to say. I got introduced to Jerry. I remember his name. I think Courtney put it up here for me. So now we've gone over, I think, six of your fragrances. We talked about BED, we talked about Sicily, we talked about Cloud Nine, Room 129, um, the Juneteenth series, which he has two of them, and those they have a yellow sticker on the front. There, that's what it looks like. My favorite is Reparations, and the other one is what's the first one called? Independence.
Independence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Independence is the first one, which was released in 2021, and in 2022 he released Reparations, as well as Christmas. Was it last year you released Myrrh and Frankincense?
It was around that. It was actually around, I believe, June, July. That actually, you know what? I don't even remember.
If I don't, I thought it was around Christmas, but that's another line that he has. So he has several, the Taliaferro has several different lines within this entire repertoire. And that actually is very helpful. So when you go into the site, you can Google, you can search by the name of the fragrance, you can search by the group or the categorization of the, you can do all of that. It's a very easy site to navigate. And the fragrances are really, in my opinion, they're quite affordable. Let's see here. I do the Scented Social. So we talked a little bit about the Scented Social. For those of you that just came into the room, the Scented Social is an event that Hakim hosts at the end of the year. And can you say it again? It's in New Jersey, which is where he's located, East Orange, New Jersey. And if you could just talk a little bit about your Scented Social one more time, so that those individuals who didn't hear.
Yeah, sure. So the next event is actually this December 10th, Saturday, December 10th from 7 to 10 p.m. It will be in Newark, New Jersey at the Black Home. The Black Home is a showroom that's curated by celebrity interior decorator Neffy Walker. She's actually had some pretty significant celebrity clientele that she's did spaces for. And the spot that we're going to be doing it at is in North New Jersey. It's not far from transportation or anything like that.
Okay.
So this event, like I said, it is an event that's centered around fragrance and touching all 5 of the senses. So literally throughout the night, you'll be able to smell different fragrances. We'll have some wine, crackers, cheese, whatever food that we have there. Good stuff, of course. And music, poetry, artwork, everything that the senses engage with is pretty much going to be at the Scented Social.
Okay.
It's centered around the senses, with the central scent being fragrances.
Okay. Well, guess what? I am hoping and praying that folks show up and show out.
yeah. And those of you, so you can go to our website, taliaferro.com.
Okay.
On events. If you click on events, you'll be able to see the link to register. It's no charge. You don't have to pay anything to attend, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you want VIP, we do have VIP tickets for those who are interested in that as well, because there are some perks with that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I encourage you guys, if you're in New York, New Jersey, Metro PA area, definitely come out. You won't regret it.
I want to close out with one more thing that we must talk about, because I know you came on live earlier this week. Let's talk about your business expansion. You're trying to raise capital. Let's talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, so we have some pretty hefty goals and things that we're working on behind the scenes. A lot of things we're working on behind the scenes. And this capital expansion campaign that we're doing, we're looking to raise $21,000. And it started because there are certain systems that we want to put into place where we can bring more employees on and also help create even more products and develop our products. There's a number of things that we're looking to do. Like, for example, we want to keep that personalized feel even when we do mass production.
Okay.
So all of our products, as you have experienced, those have a personalized feel. But we want to add that same feeling to the mass production, which can be challenging if you don't have the right systems in place. So fortunately, we have some good partners, some good strategic systems in place to be able to take things to the next level. And the funding that you guys contribute, if you feel inspired to share, is going to help us to take things to the next level. Now, we're not one of those companies that's just looking all for, it's not about Hakim. It's not about just, making us go to the next level, because those of you who know, we also started something called Black Fragrance Renaissance.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go too much into that, because that's like a work in progress. but we are looking to empower other designers and creatives who are looking to be in this space. So helping out the Telefel actually goes further than just myself. It goes way beyond because, like I said, like we have classes, we have all types of things going on behind the scenes, but we want to expand our services, and that's the assistance that you guys are helping. That is what is that's how you're going to help.
That's pretty awesome. I know that we had discussed, you know, from the Black Fragrance Renaissance, and it's a work in progress, so we're not there yet to like talk specifically about it. But one of the things that I think is lacking is that the only time you hear about Black perfumers is on February. That's the only time you hear about Black perfumers, which is really sad. Number one, the fact that we have to specify that they're Black perfumers for people to feel compelled to support. But it also, there's the other half of that where people take advantage of that. So they're providing or they're creating stuff that's not very, it might be artistic, but it's not really speaking to giving people what they need, you know, or what they're asking for basically. And so sometimes people take advantage of that. And like any group who's trying to do things, I think that the the propensity for one person or persons to end up doing all the work is not really a necessary thing if we all come together. If we invest in Black businesses, or not just Black businesses, but smaller businesses, if you create, if you're creative, you know how hard it is to create. It doesn't matter if it's content creation, it doesn't matter if it's a basket you're making, if it's postcards you're making, there's a cost to that, and there is time cost. You're paying yourself nothing, but it's still costing time you spend with your family, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I really promote for us to support small businesses, especially this time of the year. Now, I mean, they're not at Gucci level, which, you know, to be quite honest with you know, luxury. If you got to walk around with a whole bunch of brand on you, which I love the logos, but it's not really necessary. So if you really think about it, if we invest in small businesses such as the Taliaferro, you purchase a fragrance, you know, you have a perfume or a frag head in your home, or your cousin, your brother, your friend, or whatever, you purchase a bottle from him, you purchase a bottle from Rose Gold, you purchase a bottle from For the Scent of It, you know, just sewing into the community. If you know somebody that makes cards and stuff like that, you know, just a small purchase, it makes a big, 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 big deal. It makes a big difference. So I encourage you to like place small businesses on your list this year and start purchasing from them. For fragrances, Hakim does it, but the Taliaferro does. They give samples. So if you can purchase your samples now and know what fragrance you want to purchase later, you know, it would be great if you could do that, because then you won't buy something and be not happy with it. You know what I mean? Who wants fragrances they don't like? So, did you have anything else you wanted to say before we turned off, or before we sign off, Hakim?
No, I just wanted to thank you for having me, and thank you for those of you who tuned in. I'll actually do a giveaway. Yeah, I'll do a giveaway, and I'll try to show some love.
Okay, so we got people. He's doing a giveaway. If y'all haven't heard that, so what is the a giveaway? So what do you want to base it on?
Yeah, so it can be one of the questions that you answer if they remember the answer to it. I mean, sorry, one of the questions that you ask.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask the easiest one. What was in my head? This is the easiest one. What, and I mentioned it earlier. So, what is the first person that answers? The first person that answers, right? And so I will give like 5 seconds, and then I have to scroll through the comments both on YouTube as well as on Instagram. What is the very first fragrance that the Taliaferro created, and what is the name of the fragrance? Not just, you know, what is the name of the fragrance? Okay. I don't see any answers yet. Ah, Stacy. Woo! Stacy is the first answer on there. And then Stacy clocked in, as well as Courtney. Courtney clocked in on YouTube. So that's two. So on Instagram. Okay, so she turned in too late. And then Angel said, become everyone's desire. And that is actually the name of the fragrance. Bed is what it's shortened, but become everyone's desire is the correct answer. Wow. Angel Arabella, you just won yourself a free bottle of fragrance.
Yep, we will be in. Actually, this I'll be in touch with her.
Okay. Yes. And my thought process right now is over. I'm looking at YouTube. Okay. So Courtney said bed for him or her, but the actual name of the fragrance is Become Everyone's Desire. Thank you, blah. That's interesting name, blah blah B. Okay, guys. So if you don't mind, see, these are the bottles. This is what they look like. Okay. And if you have any of the Taliaferro's fragrances and you have any questions about it, you can reach out to him and ask him. But if you have, like a review, you want to talk about it, then please, please, please go on his webpage and then see, if you can make a review on the Fragrantica as well. One of the things, congratulations to Angel, but one of the things that before we close out, I want to say is that if you guys don't know, I am a co-author of a book that just came out. It's called Misadventures, and I have it all over my Instagram. So if you're interested in a signed copy, please reach out to me. I was not able to get to the post office to mail out some today, but I will. Well, I was at the post office, but I didn't get to mail out today. So I will be mailing out. I'll try and mail out like every day on my way home, go to the post. So if you are interested in a copy of it, please let me know. DM me on Instagram. It is a fantastic book. It is 23 women, including myself. My chapter is chapter 8. The name of my chapter is Surviving and Navigating Life After the Death of a Teenage Child. So please, Misadventures Guide is a freaking phenomenal book. We are a 5-time Amazon bestseller, y'all. We made 5 lists. I am floored. I have no idea. So, and I talk about perfume in my chapter. Yeah, I talk about fragrance and stuff in my chapter. So it is kind of fragrance related. So thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just freaking phenomenal. I'm just overwhelmed, So I am excited. Don't forget, guys, the first week of December, Lady Taliaferro will be dropping her fragrances, and we are going to be there for that. Mama238, thanks for joining. I'm going to leave the live up on Instagram, and I'm going to see if I can leave it up on YouTube as well, so that you guys who missed it, you can join us and you can make comments and whatnot. And if you have any questions, of course, down in the comments. Make sure you like the video over on YouTube. Please make sure you like. And if you are not subscribed to me or you're not following me, please do so if this is the kind of stuff you like to see. Again, these are the bottles. Fragrance is, the perfumer is Mr. Hakim Taliaferro, and his namesake, the Taliaferro. These are his fragrances, and I am so thankful, Hakim, for you joining us today. I know it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate you. Please take care of yourself and each other, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Hey, have a good one, guys.
Bye, everyone.